Good evening, the news bulletin. In local news, an investigation is underway to establish how a buggy registered in the President of the Republic's personal name has come into public domain. While procedure is being made to transfer the said buggy on State House as its institutional owner. While the investigation is ongoing, the Principal Secretary for Land Transport has been asked to stay out of office until it is completed.
The government has clarified the circumstances surrounding the registration of a buggy currently associated with President Dr. Patrick Emini. The vehicle was a gift to the President. In processing this gift, the vehicle was inadvertently registered in the President's personal name instead of being registered to State House as the appropriate institutional owner, which is now being rectified with the registration being transferred accordingly. The buggy was transferred to La Digue to support the President's engagements on the island, as well as those of visiting dignitaries and VIPs, including bilateral partners involved in the island's ongoing development projects. Its use also supports the President's security arrangements while on La Digue. The government notes that details of this registration entered the public domain prior to any official communication on the matter. An investigation into how this occurred is currently underway to establish whether this information reached the public domain deliberately or inadvertently. As a precautionary measure to preserve the integrity of that process, the Principal Secretary for the Department of Land Transport has been asked to remain away from the office for its duration, which is a standard procedural step. As with all officers in this position, the Principal Secretary is a signatory to the Official Secrets Act, and all parties are expected to act in accordance with its provisions.
Tourist arrivals in Seychelles have had a mixed performance this year compared with 2025. After a strong start to the year, visitor numbers dropped sharply. The decline happened during periods of increased conflict and disruption in the Gulf region.
Seychelles witnessed a record 398,841 visitor arrivals in 2025, surpassing the previous record of 384,204 visitors set in 2019. But tourism performance in 2026 has been more uneven. The year started strongly with arrivals in January and February, ahead of the same period last year. However, numbers fell sharply in March and April before showing some recovery in May. Arrivals dipped again in June, but July brought further improvement, with visitor numbers exceeding those recorded in July 2025. The latest figures from the National Bureau of Statistics show that by August 16th, 218,308 visitors had arrived in Seychelles. That is 24,409 fewer visitors than at the same point last year, when 242,717 arrivals had been recorded. Overall, arrivals are currently 10.1% lower than in 2025, meaning Seychelles is behind the pace of its record-breaking tourism year. However, the improvement in recent months could signal a recovery as the country enters the final part of the year.
Leaders of two churches paid a courtesy call on President Patrick Emini. The meeting was held at State House this morning.
The leaders of the two churches that paid courtesy call on President Patrick Emini this morning are from the Seventh-day Adventist Mission and the Redeemed Christian Church. The president of the Seventh-day Adventist Mission, Pastor Abel Ntep, presented his new leadership team to the president. They have a mandate from 2025 to 2028. Their focus is on helping the community, especially with drug prevention. Pastor Enoch Adejare Adeboye, the overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church, with its based in Nigeria, led the delegation on the courtesy visit to President Emini. They are in Seychelles for the dedication of the new Redeemed Christian Church built at Ile Perseverance.
5 of the top performing students from the international school are sharing their experiences following this year's IGCSE and A-level examinations. Among them is 14-year-old Nathaniel Stravens, who sat his IGCSE mathematics 2 years earlier than usual and achieved a perfect score of 120 out of 120. The students say that discipline, consistent work, and dedication, together with support from their teachers and parents, played an important role in their academic success. International school principal Elodie Valentine said she was extremely impressed with the students' IGCSE results.
In terms of the number of students, we had 4 different year groups taking exams this year because we do modular IGCSEs. So we had about 150 students at IGCSEs and at A-level about 60 of them. I would say that the highlights for us are the amount of top grades that we have got. It's also a big success in terms of our IGCSE modular course because our students now, for a lot of their subjects, take exams at the end of the first year. They've got the option of retaking, and then they get their full grade at the end of the second year. So it's a more manageable workload for the children and ensuring that they get the best grades that they can.
And with this, we have come to the end of this news bulletin. Thank you for watching and have a pleasant evening.